The leaves turn gold, the weather turned cold, and the story began to unfold. It's 1976, a season still alive. The legends and the memories that time could never hide. From the kickoff in September to the champions at the end, we turn the pages back again and live those days once more, my friend.
Welcome back to Pigskin Glory Football 50 years ago today, as we turn the clock back to Saturday, August 21st, 1976. We've got a packed Saturday edition. There were roster moves around the NFL, another look inside our 1976 Football Digest, and a huge slate of preseason games, including the first home game in Tampa Bay Buccaneers history, an upset in Pittsburgh, and an absolute demolition in Denver. Let's get into it. We start with movement around the league. The Atlanta Falcons acquired veteran defensive end and tackle Ron East from Cleveland in exchange for a future draft choice. The Buffalo Bills signed quarterback Joe Ferguson to a series of one-year contracts, ending speculation about his contract situation. Miami placed kicker Mike Colon and quarterback Earl Morrall on the inactive list, while St. Louis announced defensive back Johnny Fuller had failed his physical and was being returned to Tampa Bay. Joe Gilliam. Former Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback Joe Gilliam was back in the news for reasons away from football. Gilliam pled guilty to charges of reckless driving, carrying a weapon, and a reduced marijuana possession charge stemming from a June 16th arrest by a Tennessee state trooper. It was another difficult chapter for the former quarterback whose football career had already taken a dramatic turn. Our Football Digest post of the day took us back to the final statistics from the 1975 season. The issue provides a full statistical wrap-up breaking down offense, defense, and special teams across both conferences and giving us a fascinating snapshot of where every NFL team stood heading into 1976. And there's another great piece of 1970s nostalgia tucked inside, an advertisement offering old sports films including Super Bowls and World Series highlights that fans could actually order through the mail. Dolphins 28, Buccaneers 21. History was made in Tampa as 71,718 fans watched the Buccaneers play the first home game in franchise history. Bob Griese made sure Miami spoiled the occasion. Griese threw 3 first-half touchdown passes connecting with Jim Mandich, Howard Twilley, and Larry Seipel as Miami built its lead. Tampa Bay quarterback Steve Spurrier answered with a touchdown run and a 26-yard touchdown pass to Larry Burton, but Miami held on for the 28-21 victory. The Dolphins improved to 4-0. The expansion Buccaneers fell to 1-3. New England got a huge play from Don Calhoun, who broke loose for a 71-yard touchdown run, and reserve quarterback Tom Owen threw 2 fourth-quarter touchdown passes. Atlanta fought back behind Haskell Stanbeck and a Steve Bartkowski touchdown pass to Alfred Jenkins but couldn't catch New England. The Patriots won 28-17, dropping Atlanta to 0-4. Kansas City and Washington went right down to the wire. Washington tied the game late on John Riggins' second touchdown, a 27-yard run that finished an 86-yard drive. But the Chiefs' reserve quarterback Tony Adams moved Kansas City into position, and with only 14 seconds remaining, Jan Stenerud kicked a 36-yard field goal. Chiefs win 23-20. Cardinals, Bears. The Chicago Bears entered the night riding a 3-game preseason winning streak. St. Louis ended it. Jim Otis and Steve Jones scored touchdowns while Jim Bakken kicked 2 field goals as the Cardinals never trailed. Chicago got touchdowns from Walter Payton and Tom Donches, but a late fumble ended the Bears' final chance. St. Louis wins 20-14. Joe Namath threw a 10-yard touchdown pass to Jerome Barkham, and Pat Leahy kicked 3 field goals as the Jets edged Houston. The Oilers had an opportunity to force overtime, but Skip Butler missed a 35-yard field goal with 20 seconds remaining. New York escaped with a 27-24 victory, while Houston remained winless in the preseason. In Oakland, the Rams looked every bit like a Super Bowl contender. Los Angeles built a 13-7 halftime lead behind quarterback James Harris and then turned things over to Ron Jaworski in the second half. Former Penn State star John Cappelletti scored twice, including a touchdown that helped put the game away. The Rams remained unbeaten with a 23-14 victory, while Oakland fell to 0-4. Rookie quarterback Danny White had himself a night in Memphis. After Roger Staubach played the first half, White took over and threw 2 touchdown passes to Duke Ferguson. Detroit briefly grabbed a 16-13 lead on a 67-yard touchdown from Greg Landry to Lawrence Gaines, but the ensuing kickoff, rookie Butch Johnson went 89 yards for a touchdown, putting Dallas back in front for good. Cowboys win 36-16. Up in the CFL, Ottawa and Edmonton gave us a thriller. Edmonton scored twice in the fourth quarter and grabbed an 18-17 lead, but Ottawa wasn't finished. With time running out, the Rough Riders moved into position for Jerry Organ, who kicked a 32-yard field goal in the final play. Ottawa steals it at the gun, 20-18. And finally, welcome to the NFL Seattle. The expansion Seahawks had played the Rams tough the previous week. Denver wasn't nearly as accommodating. The Broncos exploded to a 38-0 lead before Seattle finally scored late in the first half. Steve Ramsey threw a touchdown pass to Rick Upchurch, John Huffnagel threw 2 more, and Denver also scored on the ground in a fumble return. Jim Zorn connected with Bob Picard for Seattle's lone touchdown. The final was an absolute rout. Denver 52, Seattle 7. And that's our look back at August 21st, 1976. From the Buccaneers playing their first home game to Danny White making noise in Dallas, a last-second CFL finish in Edmonton, and the Broncos hanging 52 points on the expansion Seahawks. It was a busy Saturday across pro football. Tomorrow we'll turn back the clock another 50 years, and we'll see what the football world had waiting for us on August 22nd. Until then, if you're enjoying our trip through the 1976 football season, make sure to like, share, and subscribe so you don't miss another day of Pigskin Glory football 50 years ago today.